A couple of years ago we were introduced to Ventus Respiratory by one of our suppliers. Back then they were still called O2 Tactical and this was their TR2 tactical respirator. We tested this product very thoroughly and ended up selling it on our old webshop, which we did successfully. And this is our review about it. Now before we dive into this review, we want to give you guys some brotherly advice. So brother behind the camera, for someone that does start with shooting, what platform would you recommend them to use?
Well, in my eyes, it highly depends on what type of shooting you want to do, but in general, a pistol with standard iron sights is the best way to learn all the basics.
I agree with that, and if you are a good shooter with a pistol, it also easily transfers to any other platform. Now, due to us moving to Switzerland, collaborations have changed, and more recently we got into contact with the company behind the TR2 again, and this time continued our collaboration, but directly with them. The TR2 filter is also updated and has now a CE certification, so it filters out even more. We're going to cover the reasoning behind this product, its compatibility and features. In addition to that, we'll also show you some test results of this product, as well as the available accessories to show you why we believe that every serious shooter should get one of these products. But before we dive further into this review, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to stay notified. Also make sure to comment down below to help us out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're looking for the TR2 respirator and its accessories, make sure to visit ReconBrothers.com. All your support is appreciated. Now a quick disclosure, as always with these kind of product reviews, we aim to give you guys an objective approach throughout this video, aside from our personal opinions at the end of course. Now we bought these respirators a couple of years ago for our personal use and testing, and there was no further financial involvement whatsoever into the making of this video. We've used these respirators quite extensively over the past couple of years during tactical shooting courses as well as in our local shooting range, and we even took them on a run a couple of times. So we've done all with it such that you can make a wise decision based on this video. When it comes to these types of products, everyone primarily mentions lead poisoning. And while that is still a potential health concern, there are far more elements and particulates that are harmful to your body when you're shooting, working with explosives, or even when you're just present in certain environments. Think about other heavy elements such as antimony, bismuth, strontium, uranium, and so on, all from shooting. Even silica dust from shooting through glass, mold, fungal spores, asbestos, or even dirt, dust, all from certain environments, as well as oil-based particulates. The problem with these kind of particles is that health issues mainly occur on the long run, and thus they aren't directly noticeable, but stack up slowly until health issues occur. This often leads to an effect in performance of certain tasks, irreversible damage, or illnesses. Long exposure to these particles can even cause chronic illnesses or disabilities. Here we're talking about airway restriction, reduced oxygenation, decreased libido, increased fatigue, labored bleeding, bleeding lungs, and even acute respiratory illnesses. Furthermore, antimony is known to cause blood poisoning, nausea, and lack of sleep, whereas uranium is known to cause dermatitis, kidney damage, and lung cancer. As for mold, this is known to cause silicosis and neurotoxicity, just to give you guys a couple of examples. Only recently, research has started to put a link between these exposures and these illnesses. And for police and military, these statistics are the worst, especially for those in operations and high volume trainings. There are even statistics that show that these respiratory illnesses for military personnel are roughly doubled compared to the general population. In addition to that, we sat together with a Swiss company that makes indoor shooting ranges, and they confirmed to us that ventilation is usually a big concern for them. This because ventilation systems can only ventilate so much. Once you're next to another shooter, it becomes inevitable that you inhale these particles. And this doesn't take away the fact that these fumes are always released in front of you, which is less but still true on outdoor ranges. And to make matters even worse, if you start shooting suppressed, the back pressure fires even more fumes directly into your face. To put this in perspective for you guys, we will go over some data provided by Ventus. The data shown are samples gathered while using the TR2 by 6 different users and then averaged out. Also, these filters were tested by an external laboratory to prevent biased results. The first data shown was on an outdoor range performed by SF operators, and they used 1500 5.56 carabine rounds, 400 9mm pistol rounds, 60 12 gauge shotgun rounds. These are normal averages for tactical trainings To give a point of reference, we shoot a bit less on a weekend course. The bottom table shows the results, the center is the amount of micrograms, and the right shows how much times the daily threshold is surpassed. Lead is already 5 times, but then bismuth 36 times, strontium 40 times, uranium 90 times, and antimony even 170 times. Note that this is still shooting unsuppressed. The next data shown is from an indoor range where police and military did the shooting, same as before, but now they used FMJ rounds for 5.56 and as well as for 9mm. Here the results are strontium 2 times, bismuth 3 times, lead here is 6 times, uranium 82 times, and antimony even 292 times. The final test was performed by SWAT while doing live fire in CQB areas and breaching. Here 5 operators used 100 simunition 5.56 rounds, 39mm pistol rounds, and 10 door charges. Here the results are lead 3 times, uranium 70 times, strontium 150 times, iron 154 times, antimony 485 times, and finally bismuth even 900 times. While this is still highly recommended, you can imagine that simply washing your hands does very little against what you inhale during shooting or tactical trainings. And this even doesn't take into account what people inhale who serve out there. So this is a short note on why lung protection is needed when doing these kind of things. Now there have been products in the market for years that can be used in the more extreme spectrum that fall under the CBRN, which is chemical, biological, radioactive and nuclear, but nothing really below that. Only over the past couple of years a few products have arisen to fill this need, amongst which the TR2 is one of them. So let's have a look at what the TR2 offers. The TR2 can be essentially divided in 2 main pieces, namely the filter that does the actual filtration and the mask to wear that filter. So let's start off with the core, which is the P2O2 filter. A major change that happened to the filters compared to the one that we used is that they now have a CE certification, meaning they passed a certain classification of particle filtration. The filter has been granted a P2 classification, which refers to a filtration efficiency of over 94% in accordance with the EN 143 2021 standard. This despite performing well above the requirement. In fact, it just missed its P3 classification by only a hair, which is the highest possible classification in the standard, just to give you an idea. In practice, this means that it is certified for solid non-oil particulates, including aerosolized lead, mold and fungal spores. Oil-based particulates, which was not the case with the previous version, multiple shift use and thus not restricted to one-time use like other products in the market. This one approximately has a 15% reduced inhalation resistance compared to the original TR2 filter, and the one we used was already very easy in use for high intensity physical efforts. Now let's jump over to the mask itself and let's start off with its compatibility. It fits a wide range of facial profiles, it has a low riding seal making it eyewear and NVG compatible, it can be worn with or without a helmet, and it doesn't interfere with the chin strap. As for comfort, it has a low profile design minimizing cheek welt interference, it articulates when speaking to maintain a good seal, and it has a downward facing vent so it doesn't fuck up your eyewear. In addition to that, it has built-in flex zones allowing for improved comfort and head articulation. Furthermore, it has a simple filter replacement. It only weighs 145 grams in total, and the new filters are compatible with the old non-CE masks. As for accessories, we have the helmet integration kit, and this one is designed to integrate the TR2 to multiple helmet rail systems, which is compatible with the Galvion Revision Viper rail system, the Opscore ARC rail system, and also the Team Wendy X-Fuel Rail 3.0 system. Then we also have the microphone kit. which is a comms kit integration that provides extremely clear communications with the compatibility into the most common headset systems. For this, you simply remove the boom mic and plug the TR2 microphone into your headset. To give you guys a couple of examples, in Belgium we knew an instructor who has lead poisoning, and apparently dealing with this is an immense trouble. In addition to that, we also experienced some of the symptoms while doing short indoor shooting sessions. Here we're talking about dry throats and headaches, and the guys from Ventus told us that research indicates that these headaches come forth from an overdose in some of these elements. Furthermore, we noticed multiple times after doing weekend course that we were snouting residue for a couple of days afterwards. Same goes for when we used smoke grenades in airsoft and inhaled those fumes. And after shooting suppressed for a day, our faces were just covered in residue. Once we started using the TR2 tactical respirator, we noticed that those symptoms we had from indoor shooting disappeared, and of course that snot residue also disappeared as well. As for actually using this mask, we experienced it as something comfortable and very lightweight. We also could still observe smell, so for your gunpowder addicts out there is no excuse. In addition to that, yes, it is an extra thing to wear, but it doesn't outweigh the health benefits. You might need to search your fit a bit with the rest of your headwear when using the mask for the very first time. Putting in physical effort does not differ much, and as said before, the new filters have a 15% reduced resistance, so it's even easier. Now we do have to mention though that it can get a bit hot under the mask when putting in physical effort, which might be slightly uncomfortable. Above that, communicating with it is muffled a lot. The boom microphone of your headset won't work, and thus you will need a microphone kit in order to have proper communication capabilities. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to test that one out yet. We've not experienced any interruption when it comes to cheek welding, and for instructors that want to be able to do their job while staying protected, we are aware of a solution being developed. As for our final thoughts, in our eyes, the TR2 is probably the most universal and effective solution for harmful particles when doing any type of shooting or tactical applications. We recommend it to everyone who shoots on a regular and consistent basis, and we most definitely consider this an important PPE for military and police. The TR2 doesn't necessarily have to be part of your in-field kit. It will already do a lot when used during training sessions, though it will also help keeping you anonymous for those of you that need to be. But interesting in-field applications besides the one that involves shooting are drug interdictions and working in known or unknown toxic environments, such as industrial complexes, contraband production facilities, and or responding to structural fires or industrial accidents. Even for the serious airsoft and milsim guys out there, the battles may be simulated but the toxics are not. Here we're talking again about smoke grenades, explosives and decayed environments. We're all already used to protecting our eyes and ears, so let's protect our lungs with the Ventus Respiratory TR2. If you're looking for the Ventus Respiratory TR2 or any of its accessories, you can find it on ReconBrothers.com. We also made a discounted bundle for those of you that are interested. If this video helped you out, make sure to leave a like. Guys, make sure to train and above all, do it safely and stay healthy. Thanks for watching and you'll see us next time.